My brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals.
So why an AP student summer conference? As an avid coordinator, I've been circulating and surveying the AP teachers on our campus for a while now. And there's some basic things that they say that the students are lacking in that would really help them if they would be more proficient in these skills. And those skills are critical reading, critical writing, being able to have critical thought-based discussion, and then also their study habits. So I kind of centered the conference around those main things to help students build that repertoire in these areas so that they will be more effective in an AP course and subsequently more effective in college. And then we also wanted students to be able to have help with their math. So we have the AP Math Bootcamp led by our own Professor Paul Kreutz. And that's just going to be an excellent time for students to be able to touch up on the foundational skills that they need for the AP Calculus and the AP Statistics course.
Waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals.
I think that critical reading workshop is necessary because some of our students are not actually prepared to analyze critically the text that they're reading. They're used to read literary and simple documents, and that they're not exposed to complex, dense, and multifaceted documents. Hence, when it comes to analyzing the biases of the author, the purpose of the author, the intended and the actual audience of the author, the major argument or message of the author, they have that difficulties to identify those elements. And oftentimes, when you give them what I call the heavy text, they are actually confused in identifying whether the text is really valid or not. It will be a very exciting experience for the students because they will be exposed to different types of genres such as profiles, commentaries, memoirs, literary analysis, rhetorical analysis, research papers, arguments, short stories, novels, most often fiction, and that when it comes to non-fiction documents, they know that every genre has an introduction and conclusion and body. However, many of them are not aware that the information and the introduction, body, and conclusion of each genre actually are very, very different from each other. So hopefully they will be able to understand these genres, read and expose themselves to the various genres which they will be experiencing when they go to college, and at the same time produce at least 2 or 3 genres before the workshop ends. They need to be ready for intensive reading and critical reading, and there's a distinction between critical reading and critical thinking. However, these two actually are necessary in order to succeed in that course. So I am very excited to have these scholars in my critical reading class. Thank you for having me.
There was a writer who said, "I write to know what I think." And that's what we do in AP Lit. We take our ideas that just form in our brain, but then we make them deeper, we make them more thorough, we go further with our analysis by writing. And it's only by that act of writing on the page that we can really get the depth that we want. The students' major pitfalls in the AP course is the creativity. They have, we sort of stop with the analysis only goes so deep, and then it just sort of whimpers out. And we need to go deeper and deeper and deeper and get more and more creative with each bit. The writing strategies, the writing styles, those vary. Some people are excellent writers. Others are just sort of getting basic sentences together. But it's the ideas that need to just be as deep as possible to get them prepared for college. Because anyone can say the symbolism of this is that it's an onion, it has many layers, and that's just sort of these cliche things. What we want is we want to get the non-cliche, and we want to get ideas that are something that no one has heard of before. In the workshop, we're going to be writing, and we're also going to be reading our writing out loud. That's going to be a classic thing so that you can hear how other people are writing and so that you can evaluate yourself, steal ideas from other people, steal writing styles from other people, and to just compare yourself to your classmates, but then we can elevate and look at other writing samples as well to make our writing even better. I can't wait to see you guys this summer and really appreciate your dedication to your AP program.
Hi, I'll be the workshop leader for the critical thinking based discussion and AP study strategies. The reason why I think these courses are needed, especially at our school, we find that a lot of students have difficulty taking their thoughts and then actually expressing themselves, articulating themselves verbally in a critical thought-based discussion. A lot of times the discussions will fall flat. We'll ask students questions and it'll be silent in the room, and maybe you'll get that one person who's always constantly responding, but other than that, it's just quiet. So I really want to train students to be able to participate in those discussions and to participate well. So students are going to be able to analyze text and other material and also responses from other participants so that they can learn how to respond to those in an effective way that shows that they have a depth of thought, that they're able to compare and contrast, they're able to synthesize information, analyze, and really examine what's being said and be able to articulate that in an efficient manner that's going to spark even more discussion and then create just more depth of thought that's really going to aid students to be able to discuss and to discuss well and have those academic, scholarly discussions and debates. And it's going to be great. I look forward to it. And as far as AP study strategies, these courses tend to be much more rigorous than your regular courses in high school. So you want to have some type of tools to kind of help you manage that, and what I like to say or call becoming an AP beast, learning how to handle these AP courses as a scholar. And AP study strategies are just going to be some effective tools and techniques to help you study smarter and not harder.
For AP Calculus, the students need to have a firm background in pre-calculus, especially algebra and trigonometry. So we're going to go over the first chapter, which is pre-calculus review, and really review trig functions. In AP Statistics, for most students, it's completely new. So I want to cover the preliminary chapter, which is an introduction into statistics. Most of them know about, mean, median, mode, but very few know much more about it, and show them how it's applicable to almost any field of study and how it's used, across the curriculums. In calculus, the biggest downfall for many of them is their reading and problem-solving abilities, their reasoning, where they might have very strong skills in algebra, like finding derivatives and integrating, but the problem-solving, so we always practice that a lot. In statistics, it's almost the same, but it's a lot more reading and problem-solving because they get to use a graphing calculator for almost all their computations. There's very few things that they have to do by hand, but it's all about reading, reasoning, problem solving.
And I would like to welcome you all to our first annual Dominguez AP Student Summer Conference. It's going to be a great time, and I hope that you guys gain a whole lot to help you become AP beasts. And as scholars in the AP program, we want you to perform well, and just know that we will continue to offer this support throughout the year so that you guys can be encouraged and know that you too can do well in AP. So thank you for coming. Let's get to work. Deuces.